All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times.
On the fence. I'm on the fence.
We don't need to talk about
we left hook from Yaoundé came and landed on him, you know, so
Jubbly, King's Court MMA in the building up to UFC 298. It's your guy Obasogi.
Yes, it's your guy Mardi.
And this is part two, keeping them short and sweet. We were out and about last night. We managed to squeeze in part one.
Yes.
Shout out the event because it's Sunday. It's left my mind.
We're tired. Kingdom Combat Championships. Yeah, we're tired, man. We're on the road trying to give you guys the best content. Let us know if you like it as well.
Yeah, we need that engagement. We need to know what you want to see more of. For sure, there were some really great opportunities to interview some UK MMA legends, but you know what? We need to hear from you what you want us to see doing, because we might think we're doing the right thing, and then you lot are just like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch this one or not gonna like this one. So honestly, we are here to service your MMA demand. So give us a shout what you want to see more of, and we will do our very best to bring it to your screens. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. 298. We obviously already reviewed the main. I went with Ilia. You stuck with the great Alex. The countdown shows come out now.
Yes.
You've seen half of it. I've seen the whole thing. I feel validated in my pick.
I knew you were going to say that.
I like the way Ilia moves as well. Seeing more of him, I'm like, the guy can dress.
He's sophisticated.
Man, he's a package. He's living in a nice little villa in Alicante. You know, yeah, nice villa. Got a beautiful girlfriend. Gives her a lot of credit as well. Driving around Alicante in a DB9.
This guy, and his wine glasses. Them wine glasses are just, he knows what he's doing, man. I like him.
He's slick, dude. He's slick. He's slick with it. I have to give him that. He's giving me, and he's not even Spanish. He's obviously from Georgia.
Yeah, it's true.
So that blood don't play with Georgia. So him and Marab are cut from the same cloth. And when you hear their backstories in terms of, how the economy in that country completely hit rock bottom, so everyone had to leave and find opportunities elsewhere. Same with Marab, same with Topuria. So I'm for that. I love that. I love that bit of the story that was new to me, and I'm like, that's that for me personally. As Wogan's friend always says, that immigrant mentality. He's got that immigrant mentality. That chip on the shoulder.
It's true.
I'm excited, and seeing also Volk just talk about obviously the defeat to Islam and everything that was going on behind the scenes. I was like, oh, I didn't know about the drinking every day and all of that, and how he wasn't training at all, and obviously getting over the surgery. So credit to him being so open and vulnerable with that. I think we're going to see a completely different beast. I think we're going to see somebody who, again, also has a chip on his shoulder.
Correct.
But I just think that the package of Topuria and what he's offering and the confidence, it's got me. Like I said in part one, I'm completely sold.
You know what? I was
just giving me James Bond. If James Bond was in MMA, he would be Ilia Topuria. I'm telling you.
Exactly. But yeah, just as you feel validated by watching that, I also felt a little bit validated just for Volk. They're not messing about. They're not messing about at all. But I'm so excited. I just wanted to say, I think this is probably the most exciting fight so far. Obviously, it's not hard because there's only been 2 numbered cards, but yeah, I'm really excited for this one.
That's it. And then obviously we've already covered Whittaker versus Costa. I went Bobby Knuckles. Did you go Costa?
I went Costa, yeah.
Interesting one. Keep it short and sweet. Obviously, don't want too much repetition, but okay.
Just a quick one. Let me comment on that. I went Costa because of your man, Captain Eric. How are you not picking Captain Eric's fighters, bro?
You know what? You want to talk about detaching your emotion from your head. I don't want. We can get to that in a couple of fights time. So much respect to Captain Eric, the guy, absolute gent. I am, planning to come out, like he said, I need to go and train with him. He thought I was a fighter out inside, in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
I had the guns out. That's what happened. So, can't get them out every episode because it's not the gun show. It's the King's Court MMA show. That's what I'm saying. So, let's go. So, next fight to quickly cover off, we've got Jeff Neal versus Mr. Gary. Yeah, that obviously that one was meant to happen. It didn't happen, and now we're getting it this time around at 298. Yeah, I mean, we're entering fight week now. I'm hoping the press give Gary the full court press because he kind of avoided all the questions and everything that was going on last time around, and the press hasn't had the opportunity to fire those questions at him. So how do we feel he's going to react, with that attention this week in what is obviously, we have to say, the biggest fight for him in his career to date, because that's the traction that he's building up. Every fight is then therefore the biggest one in his career.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be really hard for him because obviously he's not done himself any favors really to bring people on side, and the media are just going to continue to come for him. The stars are going to continue to come for him. He was out recently talking on Rampage Jackson. I don't know if you saw it. Rampage Jackson mentioned him on his podcast, saying, "Oh, he won't come on here. He's a he's a cook. He's all of this." And Ian Gary just came out. He's a effing see you next Tuesday. Like he's a stupid see you next Tuesday. Sorry. And he went for him basically. So he's not helping himself there. But I think with the time away from the media, time away from the press, I would have hoped he'd got maybe some more training or some more, or just more like he's more thought through in terms of how he responds, but maybe not. But I don't think it's going to take away from the performance that he's going to put on. I still think he's going to go in there focused. Obviously, we've seen that he's been out in Brazil with Oliveira and his guys. I still think he's going to be focused, and I still think he's got a one-track mind to that title. And I think we're going to see probably one of the best Ian Garys that we've ever seen before.
He's got, and I think you raise a good point. He's got to be, right now, the most unliked, disliked personality potentially in MMA. In the UFC, like I'm thinking, like he's really isolated himself, and I think when you're, on that train of being a bit of a rock star and having a personality, I think it's too early for him to be doing that to the fan base. I think it's too early, and I don't know. I just think like I think he was in a good place, and now he's become a bit of a pantomime villain, and I just think it's going to create unnecessary noise around him, and he's as opposed to him just being focused on the fighting and having a bit of fun with it. I think it's become a bit serious in terms of that dislike and him creating that negative energy. I don't think that's good personally, especially someone who's trying to build themselves up to be the champion that he aspires to be.
Well, do you think that's his fault?
And champion at what level? I mean, because we're hearing about the divisions being split. We're talking about, the rumors are 170 will be disbanded. There'll be 165. There'll be 175. Also, which one will best suit him? Is it all the welterweights are in that bit of a conundrum? But it's interesting to see such a young gun such as him. What one suits him better? Is it 165? Is it 175? That's
true. That is a conundrum. But just going back to some of the stuff that we're talking about, do you think all of that media attention? I don't think it's partly his fault. A lot of the stuff he's been doing recently is just coming at people that have come for him, really and truly. People have come in for him. But does he have to respond? Does he have to respond every time? That tells me he's watching social media with a fine tooth comb. Yeah. Doesn't have to respond every time. Like he can pick. And it seems he responds to everyone.
it's not. He's just going with quantity as opposed to quality, and it's cheap responses. It's not exactly the most intelligent, smart ones using see you next Tuesday and this and that. Are you going to have that same energy when you see a Rampage Jackson around and all these? Because these guys are all fighters as well. And some of these fighters don't care. They don't need an octagon. They'll fight you in the corridor in a hotel. So, are you ready for that potentially? Sean Strickland and other people. They don't do it. They'll put their hands down anywhere. So it's like, I'm like, do you want to be that guy who needs, to be hiding all the time or in person and then just become a keyboard warrior, just becomes a Dylan Dennis basically? Because Dylan Dennis is another one. He just gets into scraps in shopping malls, in car parks. Is that what he wants to be?
Don't, come on. You can't compare him to Dylan Dennis, man. My guy's continually 13-0 still. He's continually showing his accolades. But I get what you mean. And to be honest, he didn't shower himself in glory going at Neil Gary. Is it Neil Magny?
Yeah,
sorry,
Jeff Neal.
Neil.
Yeah.
I think that's
two
where
fights ago.
Yeah, I think that's where it started to change.
Started getting ugly.
Yeah, when he started to talk, he took it too far about basically beating his kid and stuff like that. It was a bit too far, but yeah,
100%.
It's true. But down to the game itself, or to the fight itself, I'm not taking away anything from Jeff Neal because he's a tough opponent, but I just can't see past Ian. I really can't.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I mean, personally, I'd love Jeff Neal to do it. I'm not gonna make that stupid pick and go that way. I just again, sometimes I like seeing the loudmouth getting their mouth slapped up. I mean, he's ranked number 8. Gary's 10. Gary's on the come up. Do I do it? Do I go with Jeff Neal?
His last fight with Shavkat was he's not a slouch at all. His last fight against Shavkat was close. That was round 3, wasn't it?
He's no slouch. I'll come back. I'm gonna come back round to that pick because I want to go. I'm thinking obviously Gary, no brainer, but do you know what?
He's beaten Nico Price. He's beaten Mike Perry. He's beaten Bilal Muhammad, the number 1 contender. He's beaten Vicente.
Obviously, you're going Gary. You're just trying to create a split.
I'm just trying to give the respect where the respect is due. That's all I'm trying to do.
Do you know what? And sometimes they say, once you get into the top 10, it's different. It's different gravy. It's different sauce. So yeah, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with what I'm gonna perceive as the underdog. I'm gonna go Jeff Neal. Go, my brother, Jeff Neal. Come on, I don't know how. Just going Jeff Neal somehow. I'm not picking how. I'm just saying somehow. Jeff Neal. Come on, my guy.
Hey, no picks are silly picks in the game. That's the great.
Hey, top 10, different gravy, different sauce. If Gary does it, Gary does it. But I'm going with the underdog. I think he's got a little bit of extra motivation, extra sauce in the tank with Gary going around wearing his mugshot and a t-shirt and all that. So
Well, it was funny, but also yeah. Yeah, he's brought it on himself, hasn't he?
I'm going. So that's our picks for Neil versus Gary, and then this. To be honest, this could have been a co-main. I'm excited by this. Milwab versus Cejudo.
This should have been a co-main. This could have been a title fight.
Yeah. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. This is big. This is tasty. This is a movable object versus a movable object. Okay. And what I was kind of alluding to before. So in the build up, I already forgot what do they call it? Not embedded. I've already just called it out. And I've already forgotten. Countdown. Yeah. Countdown show that came out a few hours ago.
Yes.
So obviously, you've got Cejudo, and it's filmed, and he's having a conversation with Captain Eric. And it's, king of cringe, typical way. I should have changed a lot from my last fight. Off the back of my last fight, I should have rotated my coaches and got rid of some coaches. That is including you.
Stop it. Is that what he said?
On camera, yeah.
Do you know what?
And Captain Eric Captain Eric takes it like a champ. He goes, look, at the end of the day, the goal was always to make you the #1 combat athlete in the world. You need to do what you got to do to be the GOAT. Took it like a champ. And then even Cejudo in the moment was like, that is why you're the greatest coach ever. That is why you are who you are. Captain Eric. So there was a lot of love and respect there. But yeah. So Cejudo, obviously Cejudo's, yeah, he's got new coaches, he's got a new route, everything's new by the looks of it, everything's new. And it's when you watch it, it's great to see he's dictating what they're going to be coaching him on, because obviously he's a coach as well.
Yeah,
so he's going, no, I'm going to do this on these days, going to do Tuesdays, Thursday, this on these days, blah, 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 not this, da, 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 da. I want everyone to keep it simple, not too many voices. I don't want different perspectives coming in. We're just keeping it simple. I was like, okay.
Hey,
Captain Cejudo.
Indeed. So I've got two opinions. I've got two opinions on that. So firstly, I was like, do you know what? That's what makes Henry a real one. He says it how it is. He's not sugarcoating things. He said, yeah, I should have changed my people. Like, and that's true. But him, I don't know about him dictating. I know he's a coach. I know he's a very good coach, and he's coached. Obviously, we've seen Yeri, we've seen Wei Lee, we've seen all these people come to him. But I don't like that. I don't like that him saying how his training is going to be. I don't know. There's something funny. I think we've seen that before with some fighters, and it's not gone too well. Ooh, I don't know what I think about that. Does he know what's best for himself?
It's a scary one because, to your point, you know, are you going to hear advice that you don't like, but because you're technically making yourself your captain, you're just going to ignore it? Like, it could be advice that is you know, a game plan against Mirab that will see you cross the line. Are you going to be like, no, like you said, I'm not doing it your way, I'm doing it my way? Too many voices. And if you're saying too many voices, any other voice that's an additional to your voice, he could be deeming as too many voices.
100%.
So it's an interesting one. Mirab is Mirab, loyal to the bone, training with obviously Aljamain. Obviously I think it's going to be interesting because obviously Mirab was training with Sterling in before Sterling fought Cejudo and was mirroring Cejudo. He was being Cejudo. So now it's the other way around. So it's like, I think the reads they're going to have on Cejudo is going to make it very interesting. Cejudo, I think, is brought in. I think his brother is now part of the coaching team, as maybe like leading. His brother. I've never seen his brother before, so I'm guessing he's new to the camp. And the brother was saying, again, it was just little things I saw. I thought, it was like, so they're doing like all the wrestling techniques and so on, but Cejudo was always trying to flow with it, where the brother's telling him, no, you need to slow it down. And I'm like, yo, you're not going to have much time to be slowing things down with Mirab. And maybe that's what Cejudo's thinking, like everything needs to be fast twitch, because Mirab's going to be, he's the machine. He's going to be absolutely all over you like a rash. Yeah. And this guy wants to play in your realm, wrestling. This guy's got the takedown records in that division because that's what he does. Yeah. So I'm like, already I'm thinking, it should be quick. It should be reactive. I don't think you're going to have that time in the fight to be doing all of this, slow it down. Because I think Mirab's just going to be going at you with the pace, trying to absolutely swarm you with it. So it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a very good fight. Yeah. I think it's going to be an outstanding fight. And obviously, it's only going to be 3 rounds. So I'm like, who does that suit?
It needs to be 5 rounds, man. It has 100%. To be. Come on. What are they doing to us? For me, they should have put this fight on this card. They should have put it on 300 for me. But I don't know who it favors. Maybe it favors Mirab more. I think Henry.
I think it probably favors Cejudo more.
What, being a 3-round fight?
Yeah, because Mirab's cardio, for me, just would have outlasted everyone.
That's true, but Henry's
so it makes it a little bit more. It makes it more of an equilibrium if it's 3 rounds as opposed to 5, in my eyes.
Fair dues, but we've not seen Mirab in a 5-round fight. We've only seen him in 3-round fights.
He's got it.
Henry's used to
Yeah.
5-round fights, so he would
True,
be
true.
he knows when to
Has to pace
exert
himself.
energy. Exactly.
Yeah. But then I don't think Moab has a problem with pacing himself. I'm pretty sure this guy trains at 10 rounds at a time, looking at the way his cardio's built. So I think 5 rounds, we're probably thinking, oh, how's he gonna cope in 5 rounds? I think the guy's pace, the pace he has at 3 rounds is gonna be the same pace at 5. I just think he's hence the nickname. I just think he just maintains that 100 miles per hour and just stays at that level. There's no drop off. When have we seen this guy drop off? I get it. We haven't seen him do 5 rounds, but we've never seen him drop off. We've seen his opponents drop off and fatigue and flag and look like they can't keep up. He doesn't drop off.
That's very true. Like, yeah.
But again, yeah, I agree with your point. So Cejudo knows how to pace and navigate a 5 round. But yeah, I think it's going to be a great fight.
100%. And I'd hate to pick. I really don't know. But just a quick one before we get to picks. I've seen Merab's social media recently. He is actually funny. He's gone from being a bit cringy to being funny. Have you seen some of the skits he's been doing?
No.
Go back and look at some of the skits, basically. So he's there in his suit and he's got his teacher little stick thing and pointing to his clip chart and everything like that. Basically taking the mick out of the bantamweight landscape as it is. He's just like, all right, okay, so Sugar's going to face in against Cheeto. Cheeto's going to win. Now, Cheeto, because Cheeto lost to, I don't know if it was Sandhagen or whatever, Cheeto wants to get that back. So Sandhagen's going to do it and Sandhagen's going to win. Sandhagen lost to Aljo or whatever, or Aljo's going to get it back. And basically, he was just doing all this, like, everybody's going to swerve him, basically, just based on... just based on basically Sean picking Cheeto when Cheeto is actually not next in line. Basically, he's telling the whole division, like, stop it. Like, I'm coming for you all. The way he did it, it was brilliant. It was brilliant.
Yeah, I need to check that out. Over to Pips. Over to Picks. I'm with Moab. I've got to go with Moab on this one. I just think it's now his time. I think Sterling's moved up now. You are now allowed to go and fight for the belt. This for me is obviously 100% who's next for Sean or Cheeto. Yeah, I just think this is Moab's opportunity. I mean, the guy's already beaten 2 or 3 former champions. Like, so it's overdue. And we obviously we know why. It's because his boy for life was the champ. So now, like, no more excuses. Go grab that opportunity. Go grab that gold. So Cejudo is in the way. I think he beats Cejudo.
Yeah,
I think he beats him. And I think he does it in a very nice way. But I still think it's a sick fight.
As in before this, is it not a decision?
No, I think it goes to decision, but I think it's convincing. I think Cejudo will have his moments, but I just don't think he's ready for that. For what the machine's going to be bringing.
Wow. No, I think basically it sounds like from what you're saying, it's alluding to what my fears are, is really and truly, has the game moved past Cejudo from his time out? Because he came back and he had a rude awakening against Aljo. He had a rude awakening. He thought he was going to have that level up on the wrestling, which he didn't. And that's Olympic wrestling is different than the MMA combination wrestling, really, that Aljo brings. I think that's my only doubt from picking Henry. But Henry coming off that loss, that hurt him. Even as you were saying, if I've not seen it, obviously the countdown, but him having that opinion, saying that to his coaches and stuff. For me, I think that's might just be to flick the switch in his brain, really, in terms of the training, in terms of the intensity. Maybe he does know what's coming. I got burnt before. I was going to veer towards Merab, but I'm thinking just the experience, just the tenacity, just the mindset. This is Henry's last chance. If he loses this, he has to go back to retirement. Maybe I don't want it for him, but I'm going with Henry. Not taking anything away from Merab, but I think he's just going to use his experience to win the 3-round fight that it is. Nullify Merab's wrestling and pick him up on the feet, because that's what Henry can do. Henry's got better striking for me on the feet than Merab, and I think nullify the wrestling, beat on the feet. Yeah.
I just think Moab swarms him with the energy, and he's fought like Jose Aldo, what he did to him, and absolutely mauled him. Marlon Morales, he was also a former champ, just smashed him.
Yeah.
I think back to your point. I think things have moved on, Henry. I think Moab's going to put him in his place, but either way, as long as it lasts, I think it's going to be, like I said, should have been a co-main, could have been on 300. A very, very good fight. Crazy that it's, fought from the top. That is nuts.
Yeah. It's disrespect for me. I'm sorry, it's disrespect. But
crazy. But hey ho, that's our picks. Rest of the card, any honourable mentions from yourself, Mardy?
Yeah, I think there is one or two main one. I think not opening the card, but on the early prelims of the Welsh gangster himself, Oban Elliott. Obviously came into the UFC through a contender series there, representing the nations. I'm saying nations and not just Wales. But he's coming up against Val Woodburn. Oban Elliott he's a really good striker, really good wrestling. 9-2. Yeah, watch out for him, everybody.
Nice. Let me see if I've got any honourable mentions. Let me quickly dive into the card. No, I don't have any. The ladies are fighting. Lenos versus Dern. Yeah, that should be a good. That should be a good scrap.
Brazil.
That should be a good scrap.
I think we're seeing from the women's MMA, we're seeing too much Brazil and Brazil crime.
Like, I was thinking there's a lot of it. It's always Brazil versus Brazil. I think Dern's last fight was Brazil versus Brazil as well. So yeah, bit of a theme there. But yeah, and then obviously we've got some big heavyweights on there. De Lima versus Tafa.
Tafa,
That's not going to last long.
We watched Tafa last time. I think it was out of we came back from Cage Steel that night, and it was late, and we did a live reaction to it. Tafa had a great performance there, actually. So that's a shout. Yeah, that's a good shout.
Yeah. So yeah, there's my honourables. 298 next weekend. This is part 2. Thank you for joining King's Court MMA. Please get your what you want to see in the comments. Please reach out. Always happy to listen. Absolutely pumped up for this week. And we will be back. We're on tour as always. The content is just out there. We're always doing a world tour. Massive shout out to the promotion yesterday. Again, forgot the name. I am absolutely shattered.
The Kingdom Combat, Championships.
Kingdom Combat. Thank you for having us. They'll be back in Liverpool in June as well for their next event. So, hopefully we'll be there. But I'm excited for the Georgian, Spanish, German-born Topuria, aka James Bond, to do his thing.
El Matador.
I wouldn't mind. Matador, yes. But it's King's Court MMA. I'm your guy, Obasogi.
Yes, your guy, Mardy.
Over and out.
Peace.
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times.
On the fence. I'm on the fence.
We don't need to talk about
Left hook from Yaounde came and landed on him, so